who would like to address the board at this time?
Roger Hensley. I'd just like to reiterate to the board, it's not your job to manage this district. It's John Houghton's job now to manage this. All you guys are is overseers for checks and balance for the public. And the reason why you're not supposed to run this business is because what you're doing right now. You've been in office for, what, 8-9 months now? You complained about Steve's salary being too high, and you bring somebody on at the same salary. So obviously that wasn't the problem. So that budget, on top of, you guys have ran through almost a year's worth of, or over a year's worth of legal fees already. So if I ran my business the way you guys are doing up here, I'd be out of business. Olaf's brother, if he ran the hardware store the way you guys are running this business, he'd be out of business right now. It's not your job to run this business. It's your job to listen to that person right there and give advice one way or the other on if he's heading the right direction. Not your job to run this business, to go out and spend the money that you're spending. But you got on this board because the district was spending too much money. What have you guys been doing so far? I've asked for it to be on the agenda, to have the topics that you ran on, to find out what was true once you got into your position. Guess what? Never been answered. I ask you directly, Mr. Mackay. You're the one who puts it on the agenda. You haven't done it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Randy Kelley. I know that apparently Steve Perez has been relieved. I've heard that Ron Smith are looking at him as possibly replacing that. I'm not going to get anything personal with these gentlemen or anything, because we're trying to look at basically a business manager to run something in here. So I'd just like to say, my opinion is, if we're looking for a business manager, then let's start looking at what the qualifications for a business manager should be. In my opinion, you've got two big things. One, you're probably looking for someone with pretty good character, and you're looking at someone that's got some basic business experience to start with. Where to start on that? Good character, that's hard to define, but maybe Baden Powell had a good idea 100 years ago or so when he was looking at the Boy Scouts. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and maybe even reverent in this case. Character counts. Other thing, as far as business stuff, that's a little bit more objective. What would we look for in a good business manager? One, you'd expect them to probably know something about project management. They should know something about how to turn requirements into some kind of technical or schedule or cost baseline, and how to use earned value management to manage what's going on in that, so that they know the project is proceeding or not proceeding, and what the legal ramifications of that. Legal ramifications, they need to know something about the contract side of that. Do they know how to put together a statement of work, a performance work statement, a request for proposal, how to go back and evaluate bids? Can they negotiate with the contractor to get the business done that the place needs? And financial management, because they're going to be looking at other money to do with that. Do they understand some basic accounting, things like maybe even time value of money or financing measurements, instruments that the banks are going to use? Probably need to have some kind of technical ability in there. They don't need to be engineers or anything like that. You just want some kind of basic technical ability so that a contractor or someone can't come in and blow smoke up their pathway. Maybe know a little bit about, mathematics, a little bit about maybe civil engineering or surveying or water survey or something like that, since that deals with all of your other areas. And finally, they should probably know something about business itself. I think a good business manager probably should have some experience running their own business. They need to know what it takes to own and run a business. the difference between what it takes to lead a business and what to do to be a follower, or when to get the hell out of the way, excuse my French, to let other people get things done, and they need to be accountable for their own failures. I think you need to look at all of those to figure out whoever you want to use to replace this. Thank you for your time, gentlemen, ladies.
Thank you.
Randy Kelley, those are excellent words.
Thank you.
I would like to follow up on what he just said. That's not what you guys asked for. The job description that you guys advertise is a person, qualified candidate should have a position that knowledgeable operations, services, activities, and comprehension of operations and maintenance of water treatment facilities and related distribution systems, along with program development, administration, budget preparation, training, and performance evaluations. Educational requirements should be a bachelor's degree with major coursework in business administration, engineering, or related field. I think Randy pretty much covered almost all of those. But specifically, this is what you were looking for. You didn't put in the extra flowery words that Mr. Kelley so eloquently put out there. And finally, if you don't have the education, 7 years of increasing responsibility and experience involving operations and maintenance of water treatment facilities and distribution systems. That's your core business on your logo, water and sewer. To include 4 years of administrative and supervisory responsibilities, or equivalent combination of education and experience. I don't know who wrote the job description you guys were looking for. I think you missed the hook.
Thank you.
I'm Bruce Jacobson. I'm a property owner here in Rosamond. And I'd like to congratulate the board on the good job that they've been doing for the last 2 weeks.
Are you kidding?
I think these guys here are representing only a minute, small amount of the people who voted you gentlemen in to make changes. I think the changes that you've made have been slow, they've been methodical, and they have been the
How much did you get paid?
Pardon me?
How much you get paid?
They've done an excellent job. I've heard that young man sitting there talk before, but now it's my turn to talk.
Okay.
I think Ron Smith will be an excellent interim manager. He's had experience in managing things in the Lancaster area. I think he's will really work hard to make this thing work properly. It has been working properly for a long time because of the choices the other manager was making. And that's why the conflict began, and that's why you gentlemen were voted in, and that was to make changes. And I'm very glad that you've done it. Thank you.
You are so
What?
wrong.
You got a problem?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he needs to leave the room. Anyone else want to direct? Up to the director.
Good evening, I'm Lee Kelley. I have been a resident of Rosamond for 15 years. And I would like to say that I voted for the 3 new board members because they ran on a platform of cleaning up problems with RCSD, including looking into some of the things that we all suspected that Mr. Perez might have been doing or not doing. And so I was very dismayed when they proposed to replace Mr. Perez with someone whose qualifications seemed to be about the same as Mr. Perez's. And it's Mr. Perez's qualifications, or lack thereof, that I believe have been causing the problems. You heard the job description. I don't believe that either of these gentlemen meet most of those qualifications. I don't understand why you're proposing to continue to throw good money after bad, paying a new salary to Mr. Smith when you need to continue paying Mr. Perez because of his contract, when you have an assistant manager who I believe is capable of stepping in, and that is his role, to fulfill the jobs of the manager when the manager is not able to fulfill them. You have relieved the manager. I don't have a problem with that, but I have a major problem with you wanting to pay someone who is the same qualifications as that manager and waste more of this community's money on those salaries. I'm very disappointed that my support for you in the election has been frittered away in this manner. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay. We'll move to item 7, comments and presentation. Number 1, director's comments. Mr. Shirley, just say welcome to everyone. Mr. Landsgaard.
Also welcome. I thought it was interesting to read on the press today that the California City is now meeting on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday, so that frees up another press speaker on the 1st and 3rd Tuesday for the act. Good thing. Yeah, welcome everyone.
This kind of ties in to working properly. This is in the Houghton Valley Press on Friday, August 28th. Relates to the state mandate of water usage. The standard was what we did in 2013 compared to today, each month. And you saw the results in the paper. California Water Service Company, which does AV customers, has reduced theirs 46% over 2013. Quartz Hill, 43. Rosamond Community Service District, 43. And one thing you need to notice, I'm talking water districts. Everything on here is water districts except Rosamond Community Service District is water and sewer and other things, more hats than just water. Los Angeles County Water Works District 40%. Palmdale Water District 35, and if you read the paper today, you know Cal City's in trouble. They only did 25%, so they didn't meet it. But the most interesting statistic given with an average per capita usage. Average per capita usage, and we're talking about working properly, the programs that our former general manager put in place. And we tried to change a little bit, but we kind of went with them. The highest water usage is in Quartz Hill, 208 per person, 208 gallons per person. Second, Cal City, 205. Third, California Water Service Company, that's AV customers, 179. Los Angeles County Water District, County District 40, 142. Lancaster, Leona Valley, Lake Hughes, 141. Palmdale Water District, 124. The lowest per capita use in the valley, Rosamond Community Service District, 117 per person. And you are the ones that have done that. Sure, we put some restrictions in, but you've responded to it. So from the highest, Quartz Hill, 208, to the lowest, Rosamond, 117. You've done a good job, and it's working properly on saving our water. And I don't know what the other districts, but we've got water in the bank. If our spigot was shut off tomorrow, we've got enough water for a year in the bank. I don't think other districts would probably say that. Palmdale, they've got water in our bank. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Again, I'd like to say thank you for coming, and we'll move on to presentation. Any presentations tonight? Move to item 9, informational items. Under that, legal updates is number 1. Council?
We covered all of my items in closed session.
Move to item 2, Assistant General Manager, Public Works Superintendent, Mr. Houghton.
I don't know since the last meeting, but we did meet with the DHS this morning regarding the test well that's being drilled for the emergency treatment grant. The contractor's going to move in on Tuesday of next week and start clearing the bed and probably start drilling on Wednesday for the test hole. Our turf inspections on the homes right now. So if you have turned in an application and you haven't yet got an inspection, it's soon to come. They're working on getting all the sites inspected for the church rebate.
John, tell them how many applications we received.
117, I believe.
117 applications.
Not all of them will qualify for the rebate, but those that do will get the rebate. In the Public Works Department, they've only done a couple of service line leaks. They hung 547 late notices were hung. They continue to install the master meters and continue to do sewer lateral inspections on the legacy tract across the street. And that's all I have at this time.
Any questions?
I have a question. Are we still getting abuse at the counter because they all thought their water bill went up $40?
There's been a number of calls. I don't know the actual calls on that, but there has been a lot of phone calls for the sewer going back on the water bill.
And they interpret it just as an increase in the water bill.
In the water itself, yeah.
All right, so let's move to item 10, discussion and action items. Under item 10, we'll go to number A, consideration of action to approve employment agreement for the interim general manager position.
Yes, as stated in the staff report, as part of the agenda, Board of Directors gave direction to negotiate an employment agreement with the applicant for the interim general manager position and present the agreement to the district board for consideration and approval. Our office negotiated with the applicant, Mr. Smith, and he has agreed to the terms of the employment agreement that is presented to you for consideration and approval tonight. The fiscal impact was discussed in the earlier special agenda item. It is $146,000 adjustment to the budget, and the recommendation is to approve the proposed employment agreement.
Entertain a motion to
To approve the employment agreement
to approve the employment agreement.
for the interim general manager position, I'll move that we approve the employment agreement for the interim general manager position.
We have a second. I'll second.
I read it. I just want to make sure one thing. It is a 6-month automatic pay, regardless if he works 4 months or 5 months. It's a 6-month guarantee. Is that
Correct.
true?
It's a one-year term, but a 6-month period.
6-month guarantee?
We moved and seconded on the employment agreement. Any public discussion?
I'm back. Greg Williams. I want you guys to pay close attention to what I'm going to say, because I've got quite a bit to say, and I may use more than my 5 minutes. I
You
guess
have 5 minutes, sir.
some people are going to donate.
I'll yield my 5
Well,
minutes.
you won't. You'll have 5 minutes.
So anyway, also, at the last meeting, Director Glennan, he asked us to consider what we would like to have in a general manager that we would hire. To start, I already read it. I'm not going to repeat that part, so I did save myself some time. We would look at the job description. Based on that, obviously from the job description, I would look at a couple of different areas. I would look at the technical expertise that the candidate would have in the field for which he's applying. I would look at the broad technical expertise that the gentleman would bring to the game. For instance, he may be working with a support staff who's a bunch of experts at different things that he may not necessarily know. That candidate should be able to work well with other people, especially if that candidate happens to be not from this local community. I think that being able to connect and understand the input of supporting staff and being able to listen to people who are in the position of your advisors is something that not necessarily this board is in a position to advise and do, but I think whoever sits in that chair needs to be able to do that. That is if we're going to reach out to the surrounding communities for employment. Finally, I would consider the educational qualities last. I would refer mostly to professional references that have been provided by the candidate. But finally, I would insist on a very thorough background investigation of any potential candidate. After all, we can't be too safe with our water supply. And I'm not saying I don't trust you. I'm just saying anybody that we would consider for the position needs to have that background check done. Hiring an outsider induces risk that I'm not comfortable with. And I think a background investigation would take care of that. As I look around Rosamond, I'm a realist. And I am sure that we are limited with regards to technical experts and highly educated, formally trained people with relations to water and sewer management. After all, that is what your job description went out as. While education can make up for shortcomings and experience, it can never replace an actual community connection. So I would like to ask each of the board of directors, of the 4 areas in this hiring decision, which of these 4 areas do you place more emphasis on? Technical expertise, the breadth of experience, the education, or the community connection? Mr. McKay? All right, take that as a no. Mr. Shingledecker? Okay. Director Wallace? Okay. Director Landsgaard? No comment? Director Glennan?
Technical experience is the key. Managing sewer and the distribution system.
Okay. What specific reason would you same individuals put for wanting to hire Mr. Smith? The specific reason you want to hire him? Okay? Mr. Shingledecker?
Whoa, really?
Director Wallace? Mr. Landsgaard, please. Now to Pete.
No, you know, Mr. Smith, this is not point of order.
Director Glennan.
I will vote no.
Okay. I have 2 questions for Mr. Rocker Brand, sitting right here. Concerning the job evaluation performance of the new general manager, we need to give credit where credit is due. He's got big shoes to fill. Steve Perez pulled us out of a district that was in the red financially and created a stable environment, didn't he? Yes or no?
Based on the financial data that I've been provided with over the last 5 years, the analysis that I've provided, I can apply to that. I would say yes.
Thank you. Would you say that previous general manager managed a district in a fiduciary and responsible manner that sets the successor up for success? It's not about Steve, it's about where the condition of the community is currently. From this point forward, are we set for success?
I can't answer that question.
Understand. Mr. Houghton, I have one question for you. With regards to adjudication, consolidation, arsenic, chromium-6, wastewater, recycling, all the issues that are before you that you've seen day in and day out that you've been here. Thank you for your service, by the way. Do you believe that proper management functions and responsibilities, those standards have been set previously so that someone can come in, take those, and run based on those past successes? Yes or no?
Comment on the agenda. It is not a time for interrogation.
It's not. I'm just
Staff.
asking. It's a yes or no. I was trying to.
Time's up, Mr. Williams. Next.
That's 4
I
and a
don't
half.
find time.
I do too, I didn't find it either.
4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'm leaving. You can read these comments. Just this one and that. I'll go past that document.
All right.
You guys need a new clock.
So finally, I have a question for the board members. Why was the previous general manager relieved of all duties? Would anyone care to explain to us why he was relieved?
It is inappropriate to comment on employment matters in public session regarding any particular employment. My legal advice is to not inspect.
It appears to be merely retaliation for personal issues regarding current board members and the former general manager. I offer an observation. Mr. Landsgaard was quick to say that Mr. Perez needed to go, and he formally requested that Mr. Perez resign via a demand to resign letter. It's pretty clear that Mr. Landsgaard has an agenda and has been actively pursuing it since before day one. I'm reading someone else's words here.
Thank you.
But I will say that I was dismayed with Mr. Perez because of the way the vote was undertaken about the street lighting. I thought that we should continue the street lighting and should find an income stream to fund it, but to simply send out letters and ask people to vote by mail was a completely inappropriate way to do it. And it made me question all of the other methods that were being used to run the district, because it set the district up for, it opened up a whole can of worms. And as we saw with the street lighting, that's exactly what we got, was a can of worms. So I just wanted to say that while I'm supportive, that I have had some questions about methods. So in closing, I want to point out two significant discrepancies in the wording of the job offer as spelled out in tonight's agenda. Board President Mackay, your last name on the signature is misspelled. I know it sounds minor, but we pay the lawyers too much for silly typographical errors. On a more serious note, I believe under the California Pensions Reform Act of 2012 that became illegal for employers to pay 100% of an employee's CalPERS pension contribution. This is a direct violation as outlined in paragraph B, subpart 2 of compensation package. Thank you for your time.
Roger Hensley, I just want everyone to know I knew exactly what I was voting for on the streetlights, and I voted no.
Move to item 11, consent calendar. Approve items A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. A is approved July 8, 2015 regular board minutes, meetings. Approved July 21st, 2015 special board meeting minutes. C, approved July 22nd, 2015 regular board meeting minutes. Item D, approved July 28th, 2015 special board meeting minutes. Item E, approved July 29, 2015, 2016 budget workshop meeting minutes. Item F, approved check/register, voucher register dated 8/18/2015 to 8/24/2015. Item G.
Mr. President, it would be appropriate to take item G separately.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those, any public discussion?
Not working.
Call for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
5-0.
And I will leave the room for the item 11G. One of the payee, I believe that's Carl's Hardware, which is owned by my brother and his family.
Item G, approved check/register, voucher register dated 8/18/2015 to 8/24/2015, a related party. So moved. Second. Any public discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0. 4-1 abstaining. Brings us to item 12, outstanding items. Any written communications? Item 2, request for future agenda items. Okay, go to item.
Okay. I was wondering if we should set up a workshop for the rate study.
You give us the time and date. Okay. Move to item 13, adjournment. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Second. 1 second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
So my question would be, what do you foresee coming? What do you want to be your biggest accomplishment here?
Well, I can't say, yeah, we got to come in and look at the books and look at the business and everything. But basically serving the community. We want to make this a great service for the community.
Can you tell me just a little bit about yourself, just so the people know exactly what they...
Well, I've been in government for 15 years and overseeing multi-million-dollar budgets and making things happen in other communities, and that's what I plan on doing here too.
Perfect. Thank you.